What's up, hoop heads? Wow, it's been a while. Fortunately for the rest of you, I've gotten a lot better looking since my last live, which was about 2 months ago. We took a little hiatus. Life got in the way. But it didn't take away from our ability to stay with the league, follow what's been going on. We did a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of preseason reviews, and we covered about 15, 16 teams, and it was going pretty well. And then we just took this little hiatus in the off season, but the NBA is back, so we are back. With that being said, I want to make sure that you all know, if you haven't seen us before, we're on Twitter at undraftedhoops_. And a lot of that comes from our Facebook content. Undrafted Hoops. We're a Facebook page that's built a pretty good following. We're pushing like 30K subscribers, and that's great. And we appreciate every single one of them. And if anybody is watching this podcast from our Facebook group, I want to say thank you, and we do appreciate you. And keep it up, keep posting, keep commenting. Keep us informed as we try to keep you as informed as we can. That being said, I got to bring the crew back. I went out and got all the top players. I feel like Kevin Durant out of here. I feel like KD out of here. I had to get my man Tony Hoops.
Yo.
Formerly known as the Sasquatch of Hoops.
There we go. Got to fit on the screen. It's been a while, but I'm ready. I'm locked in.
Oh, I know you're ready. And more than you, I know my man Gary's in the building, bro. The Mad Wizard himself.
Yes, sir.
What's up, my brother?
How you doing, man? It's been a long off season.
Yeah, it's been great, man. We've still found ourselves talking basketball amongst each other almost every day. We've been diehard in it. We've been, following everything as it comes along, but we've had a tough time putting together these shows, and hopefully we can bring you to consistency. I know you two are always on board when we do these, and just got to let you know I appreciate both of you guys. But we got a lot to talk about, so let's dive right in. I know the basketball world was shaken up today. The loss of Bobby Knight, stone cold legend of basketball. It's funny when the news broke, Josh, who's behind the scenes, he's as important to any of us on the screen. He throws it out there and says, make sure you mention Bobby Knight. And it doesn't register with me that we should talk about it right away. But I seen you guys initially jump right in and say, this, you might not know that much about college basketball, but you know who Bobby Knight is and what he's about. And, real quick, give me just a little bit of like what Bobby Knight might have meant to like either one of you guys. It's, we watched, him over the last 40 years now.
I mean, he's even a little bit before our time, but I mean, he's just a Hall of Fame, I'm pretty sure he won 3 national championships at Indiana. He's famous, mostly, and I shouldn't say mostly, but a lot of people know him for throwing the chair across the court all angry. But, I mean, he's just a legend, man. Just one of those coaches that you've always known about. He's always been around. What's up, Forrest? How you doing, man? And, he's just one of those guys that all college basketball fans know about. It's just a legend of basketball in general.
Yeah, absolutely. His basketball knowledge, I mean, it's there. If you're talking college basketball, you're going to bring up Bobby Knight within the conversation. Tony, I know you were a big college basketball fan when you were younger. I know you still are today, but give me a little bit about Bobby Knight and what he might have meant to you as you watch basketball growing up.
So yeah, I knew of Bobby Knight at like age 3 as the guy throwing chairs, and then I've only really seen him as a commentator, but he's such a legend. Like, he is one of the biggest proponents of the motion offense. He actually was advanced. A lot of coaches copied the motion offense. Like, he was one of the original people who made it popular.
Okay.
Then he
Good to
also
know that.
coached. He won 2 gold medals, one in like the Pan Am Games and one in the Olympics, where he coached Michael Jordan, Chris Mullin. They were college kids, but they won. He was in the Basketball Hall of Fame, I think, in like 91, and then college basketball later on in 06, I believe. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just knew everyone always talked him up about his passion and how much he cared. Yeah, he had these antics, but everyone who played for him respected him, and he brought out the best in people.
Yeah, it's kind of where like your passion gets in the way of, and you do irrational things, and it's not a justification of it, but the guy acted out a certain way because he really was that passionate about the sport. 3-time NCAA champion, 4-time Coach of the Year, NCAA champion. I don't know, and 4-time Coach of the Year. You know, just total legend to the college basketball game, and it's a shame. This is crazy to think about, but if you would have passed like maybe the day before Halloween, maybe we would have got some cool Bobby Knight Halloween con. Maybe next year. Throw a chair down the street or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, the weird shit I think about. So we wanted to touch on him, but let's dive head first. There's a lot to talk about in the NBA, but obviously the news breaks yesterday that kind of foreshadows at least a day's worth of games. James Harden, the beard, similar to Tony Hoops. I don't know. Tony Hoops was pretty good at basketball, so maybe that would have been a good 1v1. James Harden gets traded to the Clippers. I want to start with you, Gary, because we've had like a weird debate on this trade because we're kind of both. I feel like we're both arguing against each other's points, but then we kind of agree on it on both teams' sense. Give me your first impression on screen of the James Harden trade now that you've slept on it a day and a half.
I mean, initially and still, I think it's a great trade for the Clippers, just for the simple fact that, you know, they add another star to that roster, and it puts them into immediate title contention. But yet again, that team relies on health, you know, durability, being able to be together in April, May when the playoffs are here. I still think it's a good trade for Philadelphia. I just, you know, it's not as immediately going to impact the Sixers as it will the Clippers. It's more of we'll see what it does next year when, you know, they got all that cap space in the offseason. You know, they got the flexibility with those picks. They can trade for people, you know, because all those guys that they got are just going to fill in for the year as role players, and then their contracts expire and they're on their way. Harden's going to play a major role for the Clippers. And if it all works out for the Clippers, they're a very dangerous team. And they're right there at the top of the title contenders.
It's funny. The Sixers go out and make a move for Daryl Morey 2 seasons ago for situations like this because their front office prior to this was Sam Hinkie, and people had no idea what he was doing. Now, Daryl Morey got a lot of slack on both ends, whether it be from the Harden sympathizers saying he went on his word, and the Sixers fans saying, like, get this guy out of here. He don't want to play, or why did you mess it up, blah, blah, blah. And he holds out. And I just want to say to trade it for anybody who might have been sleeping under a rock the last 2 days. He gets back a 2026 unprotected from OKC, a 2029 from the Clippers, a pick swap, 2 seconds, and then a bevy of contracts. Tony, was this best case scenario, given the hand James Harden kind of dealt him?
I absolutely think so. Moore thinks he could have got more, but honestly, it was more important to get the trade done now because all those guys are eligible to be traded by the deadline now, and those contracts expiring plus picks are worth way more than James Harden in value around the league. So I think it's amazing for the Clippers too. I think it could boost them to possibly win a championship. But for the Sixers, and I'm on the train as like, this is exactly what I would have done if I was GM. Because now you can get names at the deadline. I've heard OG, Levine, Siakam available. I don't really love those guys. I honestly think bigger names will become available at the deadline. We'll see. I mean, Cavs are supposed to be good. If the Cavs are struggling, I think Donnie Mitchell will be available, possibly.
Because of he might not want to resign, correct?
Correct. The rumor is he's long gone for them. And worst case scenario, also, you could just do a small trade and possibly flip Marcus Morris and a pick for Buddy Hield. We have potential to do a lot of things. And honestly, I still think the Sixers are a 50+1 team. Easy 3 seed to me. Could beat Milwaukee still. Can't beat Boston, but I don't think anyone could beat Boston. But I'd take the team that we currently have. If Dame Lillard and Giannis want to play us in 7 games, I'll take our chances.
It's crazy to me that the Clippers refused to give up Terrence Mann, but yet they gave up this load. You know what I mean? Like all these picks, 3 or 4 of their bench players. Like Terrence Mann's not even going to have that many minutes when you got Westbrook and Harden.
Do you know what I think it was, Gary? Ultimately, it's funny you say that. If the Sixers even won it, man, like with the uncertainty of next offseason with 2 max slots, it didn't even mean that Terrence Mann was going to stay here long term. So to throw him into the deal, like Tony said, there might be more value in a Marcus Morris contract and a first rounder than, say, Terrence Mann, who's a 100% rental because he's a free agent.
And Tony said he's taken Maxey and Joel Embiid over Giannis and Lillard in a 7-game series.
Yep. I like it. I like his thought process, especially what we're seeing out of the gate. As good as Lillard has been so far,
the Bucks got a lot of work to do.
Their defense is bad. Tony, let's talk about their defense. Let's transition this conversation a little bit because we're kind of talking about Milwaukee now that Gary just mentioned it after Tony. I mean, they get blown out today by Toronto, and they're ranked 29th in defense.
Their other loss was really bad, too.
Yeah, they're 2-2 on the year. 4-game sample is nothing. It's 5% of the season. But is this something that we are looking at now, like with the glasses on and saying, like, Drew Holiday was that important to this team? Or are we saying, like, yo, it's way too early to even think about that?
I mean, they got a lot of chemistry to build together now. Dame is completely different. You know, he's like a star himself. He needs the ball. He needs to be centered around. So, I mean, they're still trying to figure it out. I mean, it's definitely concerning what you've seen in their 2 losses. The defense is really bad. It seems like they lack a lot of depth. They don't really have much coming off their bench. They don't have much contributing to them outside of their starting lineup.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're going to have to hope for some good buyout candidates, maybe some good trades for some bench players, trade them 2nd-round picks. That seems to be what everybody likes to move now. But they're going to have to add. They're kind of looking like they're having the same issues Phoenix had last year.
It's funny you said that Lillard looked different because I think Giannis's game is going to have to transition here. He's looked semi-lost without the ball in the few times that I've seen him. I mean, him shooting 11 shots and Lillard shooting 9 shots in 30 minutes, like, that's not enough.
Yeah, tonight it was weird. Tonight it almost seemed like they were taking the night off, but
yeah. Tony, why did Middleton and Lopez only play 17 minutes?
Because Middleton is just like permanently kind of hurt, and that's the big reason I'm like short on them. So they just kind of gave up tonight's game and said we'll use these guys later on. And Lopez is just older and 7 feet, so that's basically
I mean, are you
load
concerned about him?
managing midterm. What?
Are you concerned about Milwaukee? It
Yeah,
looks like
I am. I honestly, I mean, they could figure it out. I just think
oh
that
yeah,
Chris Middleton is just not the player he was. Um, and the lack of depth. Their depth is terrible. They're struggling on defense. Um, I don't like Malik Beasley. That's what I was saying. He's a terrible defender, and they said that guy is their stopper. If that's
well,
your stopper in the playoffs, you are getting swept by the Celtics. Oh, you can win one game. So
yeah,
they need to upgrade down the road. I don't. They will. They'll figure. They'll attempt something. They'll trade. I don't know what it is, but definitely some concern. I think the Celtics are in a tier by themselves, and then there's the rest of the East.
yeah. They just said. I just seen a comment from Ryan, and it said it looked like they gave up tonight. Like you said, they just pulled back and said maybe we'll steal one. If not, we'll just take the L. And you don't want to see that early in the season, but I'm not concerned yet. I mean, there's going to be red flags that might pop up along the way now that I'm kind of seeing some of the things that you guys poked holes on when the trades, when all that stuff happened. But Tony, you mentioned the Celtics. Celtics would beat them in 5 games, right? Like, if that's the style of basketball they're going to play with that roster. Let's talk about them. They hammered tonight, 155 on the Pacers. They're undefeated, only undefeated team in the Eastern Conference. 4-0. Let's this is the best team in the East. Can we be in agreement on this? Can we just say that outright?
Oh yeah,
it's the best team in the league right now.
Oh, slow down. Hold up. There's still hold up, Gary. Don't go there. Denver Nuggets have they are still the best team in the league.
How many games they lost?
They're 4-1.
All right.
They lost tonight.
Until Boston loses, they're the best team right now.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'm still giving my.
They're not just winning; they're making your bench players come in 5 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah, they are the most dangerous starting 6 I've ever seen.
Not only did they add Porzingis, they added Drew, to the same team they had last year.
Like, they literally have a starting 6, bro. Like, that's.
You didn't just add two star players. You added 2 guys that are willing to just fit their role.
What are we seeing out of the gate, Tony? Are we seeing the Porzingis ability to stretch the floor just opens up the entire court to just slay on offense?
It's that, and Derek White just got significantly better, and the ball pressure of Derek White and Drew Holiday, teams don't want to play. Like, it's nonstop. That's the best duo in the league defensively by a huge margin. Both of those guys are going to make all defensive teams. And the ball movement. The ball movement is crazy. Everyone can put it on the floor. So it's like swing, 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 pump fake, 2 dribbles, kick it out. And everyone's just balled in. And those guys want to win a championship. They're sick of keep going to the playoffs and not getting it done. They are serious.
Yep. And Gary, look, the only reason why I say I disagree with you is because the defending champions have come out strong. But I
agree.
Yeah, I said it when they went out and got Drew. I said that's the biggest counterpunch I ever seen. Like, that was right after the Bucks got Damian Lillard, and people were like, "Yo, Milwaukee's making the move," and they just counterpunched with Drew. And
another thing that, to me, that puts Boston as like the true best team, not the true best team, but look, when you go to the playoffs, there's not a threat, in my opinion, really in the East to knock them out. there's multiple threats in the West to knock Denver out. And that's, credit to the
Yeah.
West being much
Okay.
deeper than the East. But, I mean, Boston's most likely in the finals. You can pretty much –
Eastern Conference minimum. There's no
the
way.
Eastern Conference Finals, they're playing in that.
Yeah, no doubt. Unquestionable to me. Like, it's one of the stone cold locks that I sit on. Because they can withstand an injury, too. Because they're just – even some of these other guys. I know Peyton Pritchard's getting some more minutes now.
Paying too much money not to.
Yeah, that's true. Dude's got a bag walking around behind him. But I mean, other than that, I'm going to try to transition this to the West. But the other team I want to touch on, and I knew this team was in trouble, but I'll never write them out again. But the Miami Heat are the worst team in the East.
The worst team in the East?
They're 1-4.
The worst team in the East is the Wizards.
No, Gary, they have a better record. I got it. They're not the worst team yet. They are the worst team, but they are not the worst team yet.
That's true. We play Friday. We'll battle for that.
Oh yeah. So
the play-in tournament. That's our first game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I dig it. So you're battling for the bottom.
Yep. Somebody's got to win.
Oh, if Jimmy Butler goes ham in that cup, I'll die. Like, if he just treats that like the finals, I'll die. Are we judging who's the best and worst right off the records? No, Josh. Gary's just trolling.
He's just joshing you.
He's just joshing you, Josh. Tony, is there any teams in the East? Like, I mean, look, I'm trying to hammer through the show. I want to keep this.
What do you think about the Knicks? I like the Knicks so far.
All right. Gary's throwing out the Knicks. Tony, let's talk about the Knicks a little bit. Tell Gary a little bit about the Knicks out the gate.
Knicks seem, they're just as similar as the same team as last year. They're good. I do like watching them play. They defend. But as term as a threat, don't really see much. But hey, it's gonna be teams are gonna change throughout the year. So right now I'm in the enjoying stage, just trying to figure it out. I don't think this will be the same Knicks team that we by playoff time. I think it looks a little different.
Yeah, so they do have a lot of lefties. I mean, yeah, but it's so early in the season. This time of year last year, no one thought Miami was a threat either, and that was the NBA Finals. Right.
It feels like the Knicks, they lack a punch. I don't know what it is. Every time I watch them,
they need one more big time scorer. They need
Donovan
Donovan. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell would be the perfect perfect guy.
I don't know. There's so when I see a team like Boston, you know what? It's funny. Like, we say Boston's like an automatic slot to possibly the finals. The rest of it right now does seem like the 2 through the 6 could be decided by 3 games.
The 2 through the 9 could probably be decided by 3 games. 2 through 8.
No, 6. 2 through 6.
I know. I'm saying it could probably even go farther.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's kind of early. Let's enjoy it. Yo, another team I am definitely following this team a lot closer than I'm just going to say it out loud. The Brooklyn Nets are a lot better than they are being talked about. I think when they get Cam Johnson, that team is going to be very good on both sides of the ball and can surprise a lot. They ain't winning a championship, but I think in the East, seeing what they're capable of out the gate, they could be
a playoff
very good.
I mean, and not to be funny, I know you both hate the guy, but when Ben Simmons plays and he's healthy, he's not bad for them.
I love Ben. I'm one of the only Philly guys who actually loves Ben.
Well, I mean, then there you go. But I mean, Joe hates the guy.
Love Ben Simmons.
But,
yeah, I love Ben.
I mean, he's a good player.
No, you don't love Ben Simmons.
I do. I think the Sixers were more to blame than Ben Simmons ever was.
Oh my God! This might be the last time I ever talk to you. It's kind of like I'm kind of sad.
Well, Cam Thomas averaged 24 plus. I don't think so. I think he'll average over 20, but I don't think it'll get to 24. I think it'll be
I
like
could see
21,
him falling on the 20 line. I could
like
see him
20, 21.
If he averages 20 points a game, the Nets could be the 3 seed. That's how bold I'm going to be with that. I
They
don't
need
even know if that's
Claxton to
bold.
pick it up.
But he's been
They
hurt.
just-
He's been
Yeah.
hurt. So I
Yeah.
mean, they're not even at full strength yet. They're good. They're definitely a good. I like the Nets a lot too. I was saying whatever they could win 37 wins or over 45. It really depends if Ben was healthy. Ben was so hurt last year. It was like you had him. One, he couldn't shoot, and then he was unathletic. He wasn't even a good he was barely a plus defender. This year, he's got his athleticism back. Now he can at least set screens, find some passes, and they have enough scoring elsewhere. So he
He
just got to
rebounds.
do
He
what he's got to
plays
do.
defense.
Yeah.
So like that's the team. I'm just gonna leave it. We're gonna transition to the West. We're gonna pivot off the Nets. But I definitely a team I want us all to make sure we keep our eye on. At least through the next week or two, and see if there's a little improvement there. But I want to
Another
pivot
fun team in the East. I'm not going to talk about them. I'll let you go to the West. But the Magic. The Magic.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy. I'm happy you brought that up. I think they're going to be massive buyers at this deadline if the right player becomes available, because they are close. And I do agree with you. They're exciting. They have great chemistry. There's ball movement. I just think they're a punch away, and I think that they could be buyers. So I'm happy you did throw that out there and they're on national TV again, which was really nice the other day. So
they played both LA teams back-to-back nights.
And that was cool. I thought that was pretty cool. So let's pivot to the Nuggets, because we know they're the defending NBA champions. They've come out swinging like the NBA champions. They were a little sluggish tonight against Utah. I just want to say, in the 2 games that I've watched them, they're reminding me of Golden State in sense of they just know where their teammates supposed to be at all times, because of the chemistry that they've built together. And I think they are superiorly dangerous in the West. Like, yes, there's teams that can knock them off, but they are going to have to play legitimately flawless basketball to beat Denver. Like, that's what I'm starting to – like, I'm getting Golden State vibes. So, what do you guys got on the Denver Nuggets out of the gate? Is there anything you haven't seen, or you just kind of – okay, I'm gonna like watching this team all year.
I'm the same with with the Nuggets. I'm kind of like what you were saying, like with the terms the best team. Like they didn't really miss a beat. Bruce Brown was big for them, but Peyton Watson is really good. But like you're saying, their 5 together are so incredible. Like I just see it where it's like, oh, it's a close game in the 4th, and you just know they're gonna get the stop and then get the scores and then win the basketball game. They're getting to that stage. Not that they always were good, but I definitely see what you're saying about the Nuggets. What was the one thing I had something to say about the Nuggets. Oh, they lost to the T-Wolves tonight.
T-Wolves.
They are Nuggets specialists. They were the best out of any team in the playoffs last year. T-Wolves had the best shot to beat them, but no one really had a shot. But they played them the best out of anyone.
Yeah, I know Bruce Brown even said that in an interview, like who was the toughest team we faced, and they said Minnesota. Thank you for correcting me there. Gary, I want to ask you about Denver. The one thing that we're kind of saying is like, yes, the Denver starting 5, like it's just so fluid. And one of the things that also reminds me of Golden State is Golden State was the same way. When the starting 5 was on the floor, everything was just movement. What's so good about that with the team is it lets the other 3 guys or 4 guys in the rotation find their role and find ways for when they're in the game with 4 of the other 5, they just got to sustain a certain role, and it's just like a well-oiled machine. Like they're just going to plug in young guys and a veteran here and there, and it's just going to be like, the first fucking card. Like they figured it out. Like things are just working, and out of the gate, yes, there's a lot of teams, and we're going to touch on all of them. Besides Golden State, right now I say Denver Nuggets are the Boston Celtics of the East, of the West. Like Western Conference Finals, no doubt. I can't envision anything any different.
And the thing is like when they lose players, they don't just get like some random project out of the draft. They get Christian Brown, a Kansas product, a well-coached top product, then they come out this year, they get Julian Strother, another Gonzaga top product, kids that are just going to fit right in.
Maturity level.
High maturity, willing to play their role, not looking to be the star, no egos. Denver, whatever they got, their formula, keep it going. It's perfect. It's something that's a long term, it's something that's going to keep going. Those guys are bought in together and they want to win together.
Yep. And I tell you what, as much as I love my 76ers, I love great basketball. I loved the Miami Heat when they were, 4 straight finals and then Golden State's deep runs for 10 years. And I'm like, this is just good for me. I'm rooting for them every night. I don't even care, except when they play the Sixers. But look, before the season, I said Nikola Jokic is the best player on the planet. I picked Luka Doncic to win MVP. And the more and more I watch Luka, I say Jokic might not be the best player in the world anymore, which is like by slim margins. And just for a conversation piece, Luka Doncic out the gates 4-0, Tony. I know more than anybody you love you some Luka, bro. Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks out of the gate starting 4-0.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I was doubting Dallas. I wasn't doubting Luka. I was saying he probably have his best season yet. But like Derek Lively, I'm a huge Derek Lively guy. For him to be this good already is scary.
Surprising.
Yeah, I mean he is. The thing is, he is a great lob guy, and they said like him and Luka and Kyrie was working with him, said he's just picked it up really quick. And I believe Tyson Chandler is the guy teaching him. So if he's going to be able to play this good, then Dallas is back in the threat. My whole thing was they're asking a young kid to do much when we're talking about basketball in June. But Tim Hardaway is resurgence. It looks like he's got a little pep under his step. His legs look good. He's coming off the bench and scoring a bunch of his threes, being efficient and taking bad shots. Grant Williams was a great addition for them. Give them an enforcer, switch position, and he's great from 3. And that's exact player Luka needs, someone to play defense, help out, and then just be able to hit wide open corner threes. And it's
so the more impressive thing tonight is they win by 9. They pull away in the 4th. And Luka shoots 5 for 16. Kyrie don't even play, and they still win. I mean, that's a night where you think, yeah, I mean, even though they were home, it's a night where maybe they don't pull it out. But like Tony says, Grant Williams, 7 for 9 from 3. You don't have to do much when you play with a guy and 2 guys that just head on a swivel, can score at will, but if you're open, you're going to get the ball. You just got to be willing to fire away. Tim Hardaway, Grant Williams, they're fired. There ain't a bad shot in their bag. So
And they're all focusing on Luka. So if those guys are going to be open, if they can hit their looks.
Did you see Luka the other night hit 3 straight threes
against Brooklyn?
Oh my God!
The one was like the one-hander, triple teamed off the window.
That dude is just a straight bucket getter. Like
Pretty sure Kyrie's been out the last couple games too, so he's been winning on his own. Not on his own,
that good.
Without the second best player.
He's that good. I'm just like, I watched the guy, and when people like they get on him about the crying about calls and everything like that, like I don't even care. I just watch this guy play, and I go like, there isn't a moment too big for him. Tony, you've been telling me for 5 years this is the best dude under pressure inside 2 minutes in the league. And I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, he can be, blah, blah, blah. He is. And you've been right about that. So I got to give credit where credit's due. The dude, there is not a pressure too big for this dude. And I love watching him play. And I hope the success continues. 4-0 out the gate. This is fun, and I'm excited for it. I hope they do put it together. Another team I want to touch on in the West. I want to talk about Golden State and Phoenix. It's the first time we've seen them on the court as teammates. Not so much the Suns, dealing with some Bradley Beal issues. Not Gary's problem no more. Hashtag not Gary's problem anymore.
It's no surprise. They better get used to it.
Are you, after seeing like a video surface of Beal shooting what looks to be a jump shot, is it just a little concerning, or is it just kind of like, they're just resting the dude?
He's been injured ever since he got paid.
Maybe he's carrying his money on his back with him to practice.
Yeah, man.
It's weighing him down. Tony, what do you think about Phoenix? I know you're big on their bench pieces. With what they had to deal with, are you concerned at all about Bradley Beal?
I'm very concerned about Bradley Beal. I think his back injury, it could be bad. I mean, I've had back issues, and like he's at least having really bad spasms. Bradley Beal, because he has like a yip or a hunch in his jump shot at the moment. So I'm concerned about Beal, but even without Beal, Booker, KD, and the pieces they have, I think they're the threat versus some teams. Still very good, close to high 40 win team. So I like everything I'm seeing from Phoenix, but Bradley Beal is not the guy I would have brought there. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I said that when it happened because I don't think they're all three are ball handle players, and we'll see. It's way too early.
Yep, exactly.
I do want to mention Nurkic. Nurkic has been very good out of the gate.
I disagree with that though, because I think personally that Bradley Beal is a perfect fit for them if he's healthy, because Beal isn't ball dominant. Watching the Wizards, he's not good at isolation. Like, he's not a good ISO player at all. He's better off the ball. His problem is he's never hurt. He's never healthy anymore. He doesn't play defense, and he's not good in clutch moments. I don't know if that's because he had to be the man in Washington, but I think him being the third best player on a team may be exactly what he needs. But right now what he needs is to get himself healthy, and hopefully he can get back on the court.
Now, a good call. I think you're saying just wait and see. It's way too early to. You can't judge it. Can't judge the team without them being on the court. But if the health's an issue, it's going to be a salary.
Great trade for the Wizards, though.
Oh yes,
very fun. Got rid of him before it was too late.
I love how you somehow managed to mention the Wizards twice on this channel tonight.
I mean, we only lost by 20 tonight. It's not too bad.
All right, you're improving. That's good. Tony, let's pivot to Golden State for a second. Chris Paul out of the gate has impressed me because he's on a team where he has to be the ball handler now, for two guys who are some of the best shooters the league's ever seen. But we're seeing Curry to operate without the ball in his hands as much. I mean, he still does, but this is a great move. Like, this is exactly what I envisioned, honestly, for Golden State. Like, when Steph Curry's not on the floor, Chris Paul's got to be on the floor for them and running the second unit. But when Chris Paul's on the floor with Steph Curry, it's danger time. Even Klay Thompson, who has had some early season struggles, is shooting the ball extremely well off Chris Paul passes. That is by design, and that will be very dangerous as the chemistry builds on that team. Are we starting to get giddy about a Golden State run again? Like, I am. I
know you've played 2K in your life, so I mean, Hall of Fame dimer to Hall of Fame catch and shoot. It's pretty dangerous over there in Golden State.
2 Hall of Fame catch and shoot.
Yeah, 2 of them. That's what I'm saying. But either way, it's Hall of Fame dimer from Chris Paul to the Hall of Fame catch and shooters.
I like the 2K reference, Gary. You made me very happy with that.
I mean, it's crazy what they got going on out there. They just need to find a big man. Looney's good. I like Looney.
I like Dario. I've liked what I've seen.
But Dario's also a little small. When you got to shut down Jokic, when you got to stop Sabonis, when you got to stop them big boys. You need a big body down there. You need somebody who's willing to get gritty and can hold their own.
I mean, I know Draymond just came back the other day. Is Wiggins got to get a little bit better? Seems like he's not in like game shape yet. He's not like.
I didn't watch the whole game tonight, but from what I saw, it was like the second quarter. He had like 13 points. So I mean, I think he ended up with a better game tonight than he has been having.
I just clicked on their box score, and Dario's got 15 and 6. My man.
Is the game over? Or is it still on?
No,
still it's going. Right now. It's 83-81. They're beating the Kings. Sorry, I seen a little bit of.
And they don't have Fox.
Yeah, they're not going to have Fox for what, a couple weeks now, most likely.
You think it's like a week and then reeval type of thing.
Yeah, Wiggins got 14, Curry's got 14, Klay's got 10, Kuminga's got 10. Team's too good. I'm not saying nothing else. I'm just going to say Golden State might be NBA champions again. I'm just saying it. I'm not even going to put it past them. The more and more I look at this team, and when I have watched them, I've watched them 3 times already this year, actually. They're just way too fucking fun to watch. Let's dive into it. I got the Clippers. I like watching so many potential champs, honestly. Yeah, I guess so, Josh. I mean,
in the West alone, you got 4 or 5 teams that you can legitimately look at and be like, can be champions.
No, not that many.
3. No. The Clippers can do it. The Nuggets can do it. The Warriors can do it. The Suns can do it. There's 4.
That's it. I can't see an NBA champion not being those teams.
You don't think the Lakers could do it?
No fucking
with another move to LeBron and AD?
I don't know what they can do.
Just saying.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought Milwaukee could. Now I'm starting to already think that that's a fallacy.
Clippers, that was 5 teams just out of the West I named. In the East,
I don't think the Phoenix Suns can be NBA champions. I don't.
Yeah, I 100% do.
Maybe I'm just a hater. I do hate KD. I will admit it. It doesn't mean I don't respect him. I don't want to be that dude. I'm not. I just hate.
It's not even just about KD, man. It's just like when they're healthy, you have to defend Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Nurkic. Like, that's not an easy lineup.
Don't think Suns can be champs. Bold take. I'm just a hater. But I don't. I honestly, maybe they can, and I will eat crow, but they got to show.
The odds are in your favor that they're not going to win because there's better teams.
Well, I said it.
In the Deep West, but I definitely think they're capable.
And I don't want to see anybody say the fucking Sacramento Kings. I love them. I do love the Sacramento Kings, but
they're a piece or 2 away.
Yo, somebody said they should trade Sabonis.
I still got my sleeper team, but no one will agree. So
you're gonna say Minnesota? You're gonna say
Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Minnesota Timberwolves.
I knew you were
I
gonna
love.
say that.
I like Minnesota a lot. I like their main three guys. I like Mike Conley too. But yeah, I think they're just not deep enough either.
I think they defensively, once they get playoff time, Jaden McDaniels, you got Rudy Gobert, and I don't know, they may change their roster. I think Ant's ready to make that jump. We'll see. We'll just see.
Very good.
We'll get back to me around All-Star games, see how I feel.
Yeah, I
I
definitely
like
think they're a good team.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, I do.
I think they just match up well with the Nuggets. Then they obviously have to beat other teams, but I do think they have a team that could pull an upset just based on matchups.
I dig it.
Sure.
I definitely dig it. One of the teams that I thought was going to be in the mix that have no shot is the Memphis Grizzlies, and a lot of my take was before I have to make an excuse for myself. I thought Steven Adams was healthy. I had no idea.
Well, he was until like 3 days before the season started.
Yeah, without Steven Adams, I would never in a million lifetimes say that. I thought they could withstand Ja Morant being out. Their 0-5 is, and they've looked putrid 0-5.
I didn't think they'd be this bad.
That's a huge hole to come out of. And still 20 more games without Ja Morant. I mean,
They're
we're
going to
in
be
danger.
3-22.
Yeah, they're in danger territory. I don't know if they're going to be that bad. If they're that bad,
They lost to the Wizards.
I mean, Brandon Clark's not coming back for forever. They're in a bad spot right now. Aldama's still out. He's supposed to come back, but that helps a little. But yeah,
they don't really have any offense.
Yeah, Bane's been scoring, but
I'm saying
like,
besides Bane, you got no offense.
True, and besides Bane, they got nothing right now.
Yeah, it's like situational scoring. You can't rely on that.
That's why when we watched them in the playoffs against like the Lakers and stuff, when they were getting destroyed, 30-point, 40-point, like if Morant and Bane aren't giving you 30 each, you're not in the game. And now Bane has to give you 40 probably for you to compete.
Yeah. So I got to eat crow on that hot take early in the season, but without my man Steven Adams, his loss is not measured in a box score. So,
what's his name? Jaren Jackson his whole identity is based on having Steven Adams getting rebounds, and because then it allows him to float around. When they don't have Steven Adams, his value drops way down, now you can't defend and you can't score, you can't win.
No, that's how
I don't really like Memphis, so like what? And they lost a great coach who now coaches Toronto. That's another big loss for them. The franchise is kind of in shambles. I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah, that's going to be. I mean, that's going to be one to keep an eye out on for Kobe Tank City for that team. I don't know because, like you said, losing the coach, the uncertainty around Ja Morant. Now you got Steven Adams uncertainty back-to-back years, missing out. There's a couple teams though that are percolating in the West, and I didn't have this on my sheet, but I want to, and this is before the Lakers too, because I got to touch on them. The New Orleans Pelicans, they excite me. They don't even have Trey Murphy yet. I'm still not sure about CJ McCollum as the point guard there, but Zion Williamson's looked pretty damn good out of the gate. And the Pelicans are 3-1 on the season. Does the Pelicans are they on your radar a little bit about a team that could maybe win a series or two in the West?
I mean, I'd like to believe so. I mean, they got the 2-3 star players in Ingram when he gets going again, and obviously Zion and McCollum. They have Big Val, who's a great center. You got what's it? An elite defender in Herbert Jones. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, you
one of the
got
best in
a
the
really
league.
good formula.
Yeah.
You got a lot of the right pieces. You might just have to add a couple
Sure.
role players to the year, and I mean, they got what it takes. I think to just
Murphy is a flamethrower too.
Murphy, yeah, another one who's really good.
That
When he
team
gets
is tough.
back.
You know my boy Larry Nance, he's on the bench lurking. That's my guy.
And he's been around a lot of good playoff teams, so he's got that experience.
Yeah, I just love his game. If him and Zion are running on the fast break, look out below. I know I say it all the time, like I'm just a fan of them, but I just love
Move or
that
say
team.
cheese for the poster.
I just love that fucking team, bro. Is there anybody that we didn't mention on their team though? Like I know Alvarado, he was.
I like Alvarado a lot.
He's
Man.
been hurt
Last
too.
year.
He's been hurt too.
Yeah.
They're not even full strength yet.
Oh, Dyson.
No, not even close.
Dyson Daniels.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He can defend, and he's like smarter. He knows like he's playing with Zion, CJ, and he don't really take any bad shots. High IQ, like he can plug in minutes for sure.
Yeah, and I like their coach. I like Willie. He's soft.
Yeah, I like Willie a lot. He likes basketball. He's in the streets.
Yeah, I dig it, bro. Yo, so I did say I wanted to touch on we're coming up on the hour. We're probably got about 15 more minutes in this, but I got to talk about AD out of the gate. I expected Anthony Davis to play with a chip on his shoulder. There's eventually you have to or you can't. Like you either have it in you or you don't. Offensively, I've seen a way more aggressive Anthony Davis, and on the glass, he's doing things that we knew he was capable of, but the consistency wasn't there. Tony, I've seen him shoot a couple of threes also. Are you liking what you're seeing from AD out of the gate? I mean, it's kind of hard not to, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I don't think they're with this level of AD. We'll have to see how they hold. Like he's been playing great. He's like going to be if he keeps it up, he could be borderline MVP depending on how the Lakers' record is. They haven't had Vanderbilt either, so I'm really curious to see when he's full strength with AD playing better defense, how good the Lakers can be. Darvin Ham wanted AD to shoot 6 threes a game. He's shooting like 1 or 2 here and there. I said 6 a few years ago, and then he just stopped shooting at all, and he got
4 or 5
bad.
has to be the number. 4 or 5 has to be the number.
It should be. The teams leave him way off 20 feet. I don't understand. He was a good shooter before. It must be a mental thing, but I love that his coach is trying to get him to shoot a bunch in the regular season because if you want this team to max out, AD is going to have to stretch a little bit, especially if you're going to play Vanderbilt too. There's certain lineups he may need to step out more than others. So I've been, AD. Some people think he doesn't have what it takes, but I seen it in the bubble. I seen him play with the Pelicans back in the day. Dude loves basketball. He went through a rough patch, was battling injuries, and this season he's way more focused. I'm happy for him.
He has to be the best player on that team for them to go far. Like you see it you see spurts from LeBron, but if LeBron has to be the best player on the floor for your team, you're going to struggle to win a series or two. If AD becomes the best player on the team, like hands down, number one option, best player on the team, both sides of the ball, then the Lakers could be a different story. Like I give my list of teams that can win. I still don't know if the Lakers can win, but if AD plays at this pace and the rest of the team kind of builds around them, I do like their roster. I do. Christian Wood showing me something. D'Angelo Russell's playing better.
Best defensive game I've ever seen him the other night, Christian Wood.
Against
he was actually good. He was like defending KD or he was defending someone really long. Oh, I wanted to address what Josh said at the bottom with the Ham thing. Yes, he is struggling with rotations. LeBron is frustrated because the Ham and the Lakers want to put him on a 29-minute restriction and stuff. And LeBron is like, nah, like, I want to win this game. If it's tight, I'm playing 35 minutes. If that's what we got to do to win. And he's already overridden Ham even at his age. He 39 minutes the one night, then played on it back-to-back. The dude, oh my God, LeBron is superhuman.
He's the single greatest athlete, and this is taking nothing away from Russell Westbrook. I know that's Gary's buddy. Gary loves him some Russell Westbrook. LeBron James is the greatest athlete this league has ever seen. The durability, the ability to play like this like Josh said, he's the legal drinking age of the NBA. He's the oldest player in the league, and he does not play like it.
I would say, yeah, but the durability adds to it. But I was going to say Zion might have a little argument for who's the most, but his durability kills the argument. So
he's too fat. He's way too fat. LeBron James.
I never seen a fat man fly like Zion.
Like when I watch LeBron James play basketball, I somehow think aliens could be real. And then I watched Wembanyama, and I was like, double confirmation. It's official. Aliens are real. They play in the NBA.
Just put Bol and Wembanyama next to each other. You'll see aliens exist.
LeBron James, Wembanyama, aliens are real. It's that simple. I mean, it's just the things I figure out while watching NBA basketball. We're going to wrap it up. We're in this 5-minute window, but we can't wrap it up without talking about the NBA Cup. When I mention it to people, they are like, what is this in-season tournament? They have no idea. And I'm super excited for it. And in one way, the NBA is going to try to differentiate, whatever the word is, the regular season and regular season NBA Cup is they're going to have these state-of-the-art hardwood floors fully painted with the team colors. And I know you both have seen them already, and if you haven't seen them yet, you can check it out on our Facebook page. These floors are dope, and I'm like super geeked over it.
And some are terrible.
Some are terrible, but like I just like thinking outside the box.
No, I think it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and because I think at times people are going to put the NBA game on and be like, "What the fuck is that?" They're playing on a red court, and I'm like, I want to go see a game now. Is that like, am I like a dork for that? Like, am I like?
Well, I mean, when you watch the playoffs,
and I guess I did say dork.
When it says playoffs on the court, like it's just different. It's different than a regular season court, and now they're having an in-season tournament, and you're gonna turn on the TV, and for people who don't know about it, they're like, why is the court different? And you're gonna learn the in-season tournament. There's a reason for it. And I think it's really cool. It's iconic in a sense, and it's going to stand out. And who knows? People might love this so much they might end up having to make it the full-time courts.
Yeah, well, I mean that's where the NBA might step in and say you can't because we want it to be different. I mean, I think as it builds up, like people are going to like kind of pay attention to the group stage. But they're kind of not like the casuals aren't really going to know what's going on.
Which I was going to ask you, do you have a basic rundown of how it actually like fully works? Like obviously they do a group stage, so the top 2 from each group's advance?
No, the top 1.
The top 1, okay. And what is it? A round robin? You play each team in your group once?
Is that right, Tony? It's 6 groups.
6 groups of 5, right? Yeah.
6 groups of 5. You play 4 games.
So you play each team one time.
Yeah, and then I think it's around. Is it a round robin, Tony? I don't know how they do the.
I thought it was a bracket.
Well, I'm saying a round robin in the group stage.
Oh no, wasn't it? No. It's Gary. It's here's what it is, Tony. It's the number 1 team from each group stage, and then there's a wild card team.
Yeah.
And then it goes to 8 teams.
Yeah, yes, I knew there was 8 teams. I just didn't know how they got them.
Yeah, it just literally like my brain short circuited.
So it's the 6 group winners, and then the
And
best.
then
Like
one wild card from there's an East and a West
let's say a
still.
wild card from each side.
Yes, and I don't know the tiebreaker thing, but the one thing I want to touch on, I think once it gets out of that first grouping and goes to Vegas, I think the NBA throws a mega party and they do it like as big as they can, and they really try to look. This could be the inaugural of something pretty cool for the NBA, and I know you guys love the NBA as much as I do, and I'm all for it, and I'm actually getting super excited. The first games are on Friday night. There's 7 games. I'm literally going to be excited to check out the highlights and whatever I can get of each game, because I want to see what basketball looks like on a court like that. Pretty cool. I hope they do it. They're going to match the jerseys, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they wear the city jerseys or the.
Yeah, the home team will wear their city jerseys. I'm pretty sure that was the other thing that they're going to do to kind of differentiate regular.
They basically like stole the NBL's model, but just enhanced it.
Yeah. So look, the NBA is back. This is our first week. I'm super.
Talk some Wemby. Yeah. Touch on the rookies. Not only just Wemby, man, but look at Holmgren. Chet Holmgren has been amazing too.
Yeah. Those two look like they are going to go heavyweight battle for the rookie of the year. Wembanyama and Chet. Tony is the biggest Wembanyama geek I know. Earlier in the chat, a few of the guys were saying it looked like Wembanyama wasn't getting the ball enough amongst his teammates. I'm just going to say out of the gate, I've been so impressed with this kid. We haven't even seen 1/1000th of what this kid is capable of. Tony, come on, fill me in a little bit on Wembanyama and Gary. I'm going to come over to you with Chet.
He's been really good. Like he's struggling in spurts, but they're a young team. The thing I really like about him, I knew he would be like it doesn't. They could be down 30 points, and he's just going to be in the game. And I actually picked him for my defensive player of the year because I like he's playing with Collins and he's playing off ball. So I honestly, he's not. Doesn't have as many blocks as I would expect. I honestly think he's going to lead the league in blocks. And like you said, we haven't seen everyone is. They still don't we still don't know his greatness quite yet. Like there's going to be that game where that has 30, 15, 7 blocks and shut down the internet. But man, I love what the Spurs are doing. Someone said 42 wins for the Spurs in the chat earlier. Who was it?
Josh.
Okay. I have plus 650 over 40 wins, so I love that take.
Yeah, that's a good take.
But they're playing fast. The one against Dallas, it was like I was watching the 7 seconds or less Spurs or Suns.
It was a little different from Pop.
Yeah, so I love Spurs exactly know how to use this kid and stuff. Once his teammates figure out a few more things, like I see what they're saying. It looks like the team is waving them off in spots, but like at the same, they want to run a set. They don't want to just have him ISO at the top and just take long twos and stuff. That's just not how they want to play. So it's not like the team is jealous or anything. It's just
it's growing pains, bro. It's each guy trying to figure out when it's their turn to be highlighted within the offense. And I mean, if you can't dissect it anything more than that in the first 4 games, I mean they're 2-2. 42 wins is a tough mountain to climb, but I've about 10 years ago I given up on Popovich. So anything he does from this day until the day they put 6 feet of dirt on top of him, or 8, or however far they want to put him down in the ground, that's when I'll stop believing in a Popovich team. So let's pivot over to Chet Holmgren. First of all, the Thunder are nothing short of incredible to watch. Very fun team. Chet brings it together. Gary, you're saying rookie of the year. Anybody wins rookie of the year over Wembanyama will be remembered for a long time. So that's a bold take, but I do like it because yes, Chet was out all last season. Even though Ben Simmons won rookie of the year and he's all gave him shit for it.
I was going to say it's the same thing. Holmgren has a huge advantage. He was in the NBA for a year. He didn't play.
Came back too.
I'm saying he didn't really play, you know what I mean? I get it, he was hurt, but you're still around the coaches, you're learning the game, you're seeing the film, you're seeing the tape. Wembanyama's coming from another country. Yeah. He's got a way bigger adjustment than Holmgren. Holmgren just jumps right into action.
And on a very good team.
To play. Yeah, he's on a great team. You know, he's not looking to score a lot. You know, he doesn't necessarily have to do that. I mean, he can give you 20.
He's going to score by 20. Accident. He's going to score 15 by accident.
And he's been doing the things defensively that we've been expecting Wemby to do. You know, 7 blocks in a game the other night. He's been getting 4 or 5, blocks and steals combined almost every night too, putting up the same type of numbers as Anthony Davis defensively, which is crazy to think about. So to me, I wouldn't necessarily take it as a down thing to Wemby if he loses rookie of the year to Chet. He's losing to a guy older than him who has the experience. But
yeah, it definitely wouldn't be
I personally would put my money on Chet.
I dig it. Tony, you got any Wembanyama rookie of the year action?
I have some, and then I was bet a little bit on Ausar, but at 65-1.
Ausar's going with Detroit.
Yeah,
he's been great too, man.
I like Chet too, and then the thing is, I don't want too much money on Wemby now. I heard he was only going to play around like 60 games this year, but it doesn't seem like that. It seems like to me they're going to play him a bunch. So maybe that was just false
Don't
thing.
You
but
have to play 62 for awards.
What?
65.
Yeah, 65.
So if he played 60, he wouldn't be eligible, and then your bet would get voided.
Yeah, so that, and I would just lose because that's how future markets work. So I would, if that's what threw me off of the concern. And I love Chet too. Like people was always saying he's skinny, he can't. The dude is going to be one of the best shot blockers in the league for a while. And he stretches the floor, and he's so high IQ. He doesn't need the ball, and he could touch the ball limited times in a night and give you 20. He stretches the floor. I will say the only thing I love OKC, I was pumping them up tonight. They got destroyed on the glass. The Zion, Jonas, Pelicans were bullying them. I watched the Pelicans throw up brick after brick after brick, and it didn't matter because they kept getting the offensive rebounds, and
big grown men.
Yeah.
Big grown men pushing around some skinny boys.
So
this game just went final. Golden State holds on 102. They come back versus Sacramento in the fourth. They win 102-101. And Golden State gets 17 assists from Draymond Green and Chris Paul. You're just looking for the 2 deadliest arsonists in basketball history off the catch and shoot, and you're just looking for them to get open, and it's fire season. And they do it again tonight, and they hold on against that team. And just so we know, the Clippers and the Lakers are 7 minutes left, 4-point game, so we got another barn burner to watch. So I'm going to cut it. Let's cut it off. It's been great. We went at 10 minutes over the hour mark. I think we shook the rust off pretty well. We're going to try and do this every Tuesday or Wednesday. I would love to do 2 days a week, but 1 day a week would be prime time. Gary, Tony, both my boys, appreciate you both. We got basketball, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
A lot of it.
Tell your cat I said, what's up, Gary? I seen him in the background lingering.
Actually, I don't know where she's at right now, but yeah, she walked.
She's lingering. She's a basketball fan. I already like her. Yo, I got to go. Undrafted Hoops back in the building. Clay hit a jumper at 1.1 seconds to go to take the lead. Love it. My man Al's in the chat all night. Producer of the show, man behind the scenes. He's the Wizard of Oz himself. Lakers are up 6 right now. So LeBron's got 27, 8 and 6 in his 21st season. And, you know, the sky is blue and tomorrow is Thursday. But signing off, Facebook Undrafted Hoops, YouTube Undrafted Hoops, Twitter Undrafted Hoops _. It's your boy JB DeCef signing off. Thanks for watching. Peace.